I do want to talk about Venezuela though, because you raised that point. It is something we want to address, and we will be, the good thing about the Israel discussion is we've made a series of pretty binary predictions, and we'll be able to revisit them, and the internet will remember them forever. Venezuela, you have been critical of the administration's approach. Why?
Where to begin? I'll go with the easy one. I am concerned that members of the administration are just pretty openly lying about this, and I think that has clear echoes of the Iraq War run-up, where they were just fabricating intelligence left and right. The big one to obviously flag is that Venezuela is not involved in fentanyl in a major way. So the argument that we are targeting narco-terrorists transporting fentanyl, and thus they should be murdered.
Yeah, but fentanyl gets into the cocaine that Venezuela allows to be transported.
Right.
Without the cocaine that they're sending, people probably wouldn't take as much fentanyl because they cut the cocaine with fentanyl.
It's possible some fentanyl is getting through Venezuela, but the most of the fentanyl, I mean, the villains of the fentanyl trade are China and Mexico.
And even if you look at the numbers
consumer.
with cocaine, most of the cocaine out of Colombia doesn't go through Venezuela.
So what do you think are the administration's goals in Venezuela?
Oh, I mean, I think that they are moving towards soft regime change. I think this is what Secretary Rubio has long wanted. I think he's changed and contorted his ideology a lot of different ways the last 10 years, but something that is a clear hallmark of it is pretty extreme hawkishness on Venezuela, and I think they can knock it over pretty easily.
I think, I wouldn't make up a story, but I have a very different experience with President Trump and Senator Rubio at the time over Venezuela. Remember when John Bolton was running around with like 5,000 troops?
And the Guaido guy,
yeah. There was this notion that Juan Guaido, someone you would probably call a communist, was going to be
Wasn't he the rightful, who we recognize as the rightful government?
Yeah, but he was like,
Venezuela?
he was like
I think the real communist
rightful government. Yeah,
I mean that's what the government stance was.
I guess.
So,
based on
Maduro's
what?
the worst communist, I guess, between the two.
Yeah, they were both probably communists, but either way. You had Senator Rick Scott, who I have a very high view of on many issues, trying to convince President Trump that we needed kinetic military action in Venezuela.
I believe it.
And Rick Scott laid out a compelling case for that foreign policy viewpoint. He had done all his homework, laid it out. And before I could even get in the conversation, Marco Rubio took the other side. And those guys get along really well. And Marco said,
yo, it's Perplexity AI's Comet browser. This is really interesting. Check this out. Let me ask you guys something. How much time do you spend every day on a web browser? How much time do you spend clicking around online, searching, scrolling, typing, endless tabs? It's a lot, right? Well, there's a new AI web browser from Perplexity called Comet that is completely changing the way you're able to interact with your browser. Comet feels like having a personal assistant living in your web browser that can actually do things for you across the internet, like literally do things, not just give answers. You can ask Comet to handle tasks for you, and it literally clicks, types, searches, and scrolls just like you would to get things done for you. That's crazy. In the background while you go about your day. Go to perplexity.ai/Comet. Comet can navigate around the web like a human would, clicking, typing, searching, scrolling, getting what you need done so you can do more. Some of the things it can do, it can order food from like DoorDash or Domino's. It can book personalized restaurant reservations. It can buy stuff on Amazon. Wow, movie tickets, book flights, prep you for your day, send messages and emails, schedule things, search, respond, and analyze. It can pull up videos, tabs, or other searches you're looking for. That's crazy. Download Perplexity's new AI web browser, Comet, by heading to pplx.ai/Timcast and let your browser do the work for you. Plus, right now, when you download Comet, you get a month of Rumble Premium for free. Yo, check this out.
If you get into some war in Venezuela, it is a jungle conflict. There's going to be a guerrilla feature to this. We will be bogged down there forever. Rubio had specific information about where different naval assets were and explained that getting them in position to launch this
we are moving assets
was
now.
Impractical. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like Rubio was taking the anti-intervention side as it related to Venezuela.
Well, I remember
may have changed.
Well, I don't think he's a cartoon character. I mean, none of these people are. But I mean, I think the preponderance of the evidence is that he's supportive of a pretty hardline tact on Latin America and on Venezuela. That he's been fighting this sort of shadow war with Rick Grinnell about it. That Rick Grinnell is losing as of now, and that we are ramping up, and that a lot of this is being driven by the State Department, but also the War Defense Department.
Matt, if I could ask you, since you're a Florida Jit, there's a ton of people in the cabinet who are Floridian, and as I understand, there's a large Venezuelan expat population population throughout Miami or Florida largely that help influence the politics when it comes to this a lot. Could you speak to how that could influence, I don't know, Susie Wiles or Marco Rubio or Pam Bondi's
I think that constituency
vision?
has a lot of influence. I
Totally.
mean, you can
Well,
definitely speak to it
no,
better,
it's a fair question. There are hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan voters in Florida who are swing voters, and there were political figures like Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar saying that if the Trump administration would always take a maximalist view against the Maduro regime, that would be the best path to secure the support of those voters. And the reason that mattered at the time was because Florida was a swing state. Now, like, Florida is Arkansas. We are not going to elect a Democrat statewide in our state for the foreseeable future. And so this like highly important, political group in Florida that received all this attention probably gets less of that now, just as a
And
result.
I mean, that's why the embargo is still in place on Cuba, right? Because of the Cuban Americans there. They all want a hard line on Cuba, the sanctions to stay on.
Marco principally among them.
Yeah.
This is an issue Marco and I've discussed frequently. We have different views on the subject.
Yeah.
I think that if sanctions worked, Cuba would be the Garden of Eden. But I have the view that if something has failed for
Decades.
half a century, maybe try something different. And I don't think we're any closer to the Cuban people being free. I have a great connection to the Cuban people, but I don't believe the sanctions have weakened the regime more than the people who are trying to survive there. And you're right, that key group of hardcore Cuban voters has been very politically powerful. It's where Jeb Bush got a lot of his initial momentum when he ran statewide. And it just is different when you're not a swing state. Also, generationally, these third-generation Cubans are probably less tied to embargo politics, because they don't think they're going back. Like the first and second generation actually thought they were going to go back and get their plantations back. By the third generation, no one's like eager to make that happen, and so that animates how people think.
Well,
about
I've seen
the embargo.
Curt battle with Venezuelans on X
Yeah, I did not know that
because
there were.
they have a presence. And I mean, what maybe you know his name? He's a congressman, Carlos
Jimenez. Yeah.
When they bombed the first boat off Venezuela, he's like tweeting in Spanish, celebrating it. And I mean, these are, foreigners agitating for a war in a foreign country.
I just feel, and
He's an elected
I'm
member
like a
of Congress?
dove's dove, but I
Yeah,
just feel like we
I
have
thought
way
cared
more at
about
stake.
Bad Bunny speaking Spanish. You don't care about
That's-
Carlos Jimenez?
That's right.
I don't
No
care
one
about
should
anybody.
speak
Did he have
Spanish
English
at all
too, or
in
was it just in
America.
Spanish? Did he have an English
What I
version
saw,
as well?
I think it was just in Spanish.
A lot of them do like
They do dual, yeah.
So what did he
language.
spoke in Spanish?
No, I'm just saying it's like this is a constituency of people like from this country who want our government to intervene there.
Yeah, it's high conviction expats, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like it's people who have.
And I think that's really what's driving this.
Of course, it drives
not
a lot of
right.
our foreign policy.
I think there's other aspects that we
yeah, I
need to
don't
touch
think
on
so.
too. There's also the oil markets that play into this. If we were able to install a friendly regime there, we would be able to compete
Can
harder.
make a deal with the current regime. I mean, basically, we don't have any. The administration has been sabotaging any of the deals.
Weren't these the same
current
communists
regime,
that
like, they can't
nationalized the
get
oil
their-
industry?
They can't
before we
use their
got in
oil
there?
industry anyways because they kicked out
What
all
is
the
he, a
companies.
communist, a narco terrorist? What is he? I mean, I
Both
can't keep-
communist narco terrorists.
Yeah, he's
But
all-
Chevron,
he's
what's
all of it.
interesting is that Trump recently
No,
let-
what do you mean? They traffic drugs and they're communists over there. Am I? I don't know, am I
there
mislabeling them?
I think there is drug running in Venezuela, and I think at a certain point, if you're a isolated, impoverished regime, you are looking the other way, and fast as if your society and your administration are involved in it. But the idea that like Maduro sits down like Joseph Stalin, and there's lines of cocaine everywhere, and like this is the fentanyl
That's the
like,
president of Colombia, actually.
Yeah, okay, I mean, like it's just it's a child's view of the universe.
So another point.
Oh, no. Wait, you don't, because I've studied Venezuela a good bit. I don't have a child's view of it. And I think that Maduro, in many ways, has to answer to the conglomerate of narcos that control portions of his economy.
Perhaps I was setting up a straw man, but my basic, I think he's in a tough neighborhood and he's involved in it. But the idea that there's not going to be drug running in that part of the world, regardless of who.
I'll tell you why there isn't any. El Salvador. I mean, there are two models right now for Latin America. There's the Maduro model, which I think is far too permissive of that type of malign activity, and then there's the Bukele model, and the two are really at war for the soul of a lot of these Latin American voters as elections are getting ready in Argentina.
Well, if we're speaking about the Latin American voters, though, I do, and we're talking about like future Republican consolidating gains of Hispanic voters. I think if the administration spends its time killing basically Venezuelan fishermen on boats, I think that's actually going to.
They're drug runners.
That's what they
Do you think
say.
anyone cares?
They're not fishermen. Why,
what they
why are you
say.
calling them fishermen?
I think there are people that are paid $1,000 to move drugs. And,
Okay, but those aren't fishermen or people who
think
go
the
out
people
and
who
sea
are-
in boats and they take their rods in and then they reel in, I don't know, a tuna or something.
I think it,
not
first
people
of all,
who
the
traffic
administration has
boats full
shown
of
that it will
drugs.
lie about the issue. Second of all, they haven't proved anything about who these people are.
And I know the
I
fishermen
wouldn't
are-
be surprised if they had ties to drugs, ties being like they're gophers to move this stuff. But they're not hardened criminals. And if they are, the administration will produce the evidence, but they haven't.
You think we
Evidence
have
is
to
in the middle
produce?
of
We
the
have to have to produce evidence. In
Yeah,
the
I think
middle of the
we
Gulf
should.
of
I think I'm against the
Yeah,
drone
you
striking.
can't just blow people out.
Yeah, I'm against the
water
drone striking.
and
I'm against
execute them
Obama's.
without any
They're
evidence.
narco-terrorists.
It seems as though they're carrying payloads of drugs. I mean, those seem.
But that's not how we handle drug trafficking. Like, are we going to start?
It's
blowing
how
up
we
drug
should
shipments in
handle
the
drug
US?
trafficking.
Correct. After 9/11, we moved towards a broad dragnet of terrorism, and I don't think it served the American people well. If we had treated it as a police action, Osama bin Laden would have been brought to justice, and we wouldn't have had all of these.
We're merging the
What
drug
served
war
the
and the
American
terror
people
war.
well is loads of fentanyl being shipped into our country. That's really what
But
served the
again,
Americans well.
that's not.
It's not Venezuela.
Not Venezuela.
I don't even care if it has to be fentanyl. I think we should bomb the meth labs in Mexico.
Now we're talking, Gaetz.
I
Should've kept you in there.
no, I mean, look, and I am widely viewed as a dove, but I think we have actual interests here. I think we have an achievable interest. The interest in the Gulf of
What is that gonna
America
achieve?
is deterrence. Look, if you blow a few of these things up
Matt.
and you get that rolling on social media, I think people might think twice about traversing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.